Hey everybody, welcome back to our midweek mandala, which I think we're going to change the name to open sourced. I think that's what we're going to go with. But yeah, welcome back everybody. We have a very, very, very special guest today, which we'll announce shortly. But Pac-Man, how are you?
I'm really good. I don't want to take any time. I just want to say I'm very happy, very honored, and it's a great pleasure to have Jay with us.
Hey
Yeah,
guys.
Isn't
Thanks for
it?
having
Isn't
me.
it just isn't it a sight for sore eyes to see Jay back on our screens?
I don't know if you guys remember, like we actually did spend a few minutes on a live stream a while back when we were talking about how much we miss Jay and how much we love Jay and how much we miss having his in contributions.
I saw that. That was so kind of you guys to say. Thanks for having me
We
back on there.
No, you're welcome anytime. I think my Thursday evenings now in Asia time slot is now lost because it was normally what I do every Thursday evening was AAG, but now I just walk laps of my apartment not knowing what to do.
Man, AAG and everything we were doing together was so cool. It was so cool to have that pulse and be all on the same page about what was happening in the ecosystem for so long. And I miss that stuff too.
Yeah.
It's like one of them things that if it happens long enough, it just becomes not just a routine, it just becomes like a necessity. And like once it's gone, you realize like how important it was.
Yeah.
Sometimes like I didn't watch every single episode, but like I watched all the most important ones, especially when the proposals were falling. And then like not having that, and like now I actually have to do research, actually have to find out things myself. Before like, you could just watch AAG and you know exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jay. Go. No, I was going to say, I think we can probably dive straight into it while we've got you here while you're new. So, like, obviously, like, there's been a lot of shift that's happened inside the Polkadot ecosystem over the last probably 4 months, I would say, even pre-Argentina, pre-Decoded. Not Decoded, wasn't even called Decoded. Here goes how long I've been out of the loop, pre-Sub-Zero. Obviously, Jay, like, we've obviously lamented publicly how much we think it was the wrong decision to not be supporting the Koos. And like we've been doing this, every Wednesday, probably for the last little bit now. And because it just feels like there's a hole. And obviously, like, we'll talk about Mandala's position inside the Polkadot ecosystem in a minute. But I just wanted to publicly go on record again and say that I think it was a mistake to not be supporting the Koos.
Big mistake.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. Well, it remains to be seen. Depends on your point of view, I guess, because I think it really seems that the Koos doesn't fit into the current direction of the Polkadot ecosystem, and not just the Koos, but so many things. Like I saw Pappy got voted against. Even all these devs from Parody and whatnot commenting under. I saw that they need this. They need this library and whatnot. So I'm not exactly sure what the direction of the ecosystem is, but it's not like it's just the Koos that doesn't fit. It's like the whole social layer doesn't fit in the whole idea that we were evangelizing of, being Web3 and open for anybody to contribute. I guess it just kind of looks like that was totally abandoned. So we'll have to
I've got an analogy here, which I think is timely. So, like, we've seen a little bit of political shift in the world at the moment. The US has kind of like had this expansionist sort of mode for most of my lifetime, where it's like everything permeates. And I grew up in Australia, and even growing up in the 90s as a kid, it was like NBA culture and like American cartoons and like all that all that sort of stuff. Even in Australia, South Australia, where I grew up, it made it that far. And as we see now, the political situation in the US is it's like contracting back in because it wants to consolidate its base. Yeah. And I was just thinking the other day as I was like going for a walk, I'm like, it's kind of what's happened with Polkadot. Like we sent all these soldiers out all over the world to go and try and spread the good word.
Yeah.
And it didn't maybe bring back the strength to the base that the base wanted. And so then all of the soldiers' supply lines out in the frontier just got cut and they got left staying out there. Yeah, and everything contracted back to the base, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's an interesting analogy for sure. The one thing about the States is that it has such a strong identity, and it has this history of dominance that it can look back to and say, we're going to go back to that. We're going to make it again. But I'm not sure Polkadot has that sort of core idea of itself. And I think it seems like it's still looking for what it is and what it can be. And one of the big problems, I mean, we covered the Polkadot ecosystem for like 4.5 years. One of the big problems was what would happen is we'd have a big idea of what Polkadot is, and then we'd get everybody on board and everybody excited about it. And we'd get it maybe 80% of the way there, and then we would change what Polkadot is. We would change to something different. And we never really got to land and rest for a second. We always kind of fluttered off and did something different. And yeah, this is another part of that. I think that same cycle. So.
Well, before we move on,
this is a good point. So do you think this direction that we're going to might even make up to 70-80% and might even change to a new direction? Do you think might pivot?
I don't know. It's the pattern. We'll see. We'll see. It's hard to know. I have no idea. I'm like totally out of the loop. So what I did, okay. So since we were on air before Christmas, one of the first things I did is I totally changed my whole X account, right? So I just like changed everybody I was following. Everybody was following me. And then suddenly I was just in this totally different algorithm. Like, and to be honest, crypto and Polkadot, even though I still follow a lot of people in Polkadot, it doesn't even come across my line at all. It's not part of my world at all right now. So I really don't know much of what's going on unless somebody sends me a direct message, which occasionally people are unkind enough to do. Send me a direct message about some drama, you know. But I've been off. You know, I did a 3-week tax project. I've got back into cooking, losing weight with the wife. You know, I've been totally out of the loop.
Well, I think I can relate to that a little bit because, like, the Republic, Republic Rupiah community, we are always chain agnostic, and so even though I've been deep inside the Polkadot ecosystem, I can relate because, you know, I would get frustrated at times because you could see I could see what was happening in other ecosystems too, and have that nuance where I think sometimes people that were only in that Polkadot ecosystem maybe were not seeing over the fence about what the internal position was.
Yeah.
Anyway, but
for me, I never really cared about crypto. I mean, I like Bitcoin, but I really only cared about Polkadot and this idea that I could contribute in a meaningful way. And I could help build something, and I could be shoulder to shoulder with other people who were taking that risk. That was the coolest thing. But the rest of crypto, I mean, you know, I've had conversations with other crypto projects and whatnot, and it's just like, I can't get into it. I can't get my heart behind it. It's just like, it doesn't feel cool.
Yeah. That's a good point as well. Like, because again, you weren't just a crypto person, you were a specifically Polkadot person. Forget all the like the direction and everything else. How does it feel like emotionally being like you were so attached to something and now you're not anymore? How does that, like, how do you spend your time? Do you still think about Polkadot? It's like one of the Max girlfriends you really miss, you know?
No, not really. I mean, I was, you asked emotionally. I was a little frustrated with the way it all came apart because I suppose I felt entitled to have a conversation with somebody who's making some decisions. And so it was really difficult to penetrate into the Web3 Foundation and talk to anybody who had any authority over these decisions that were being made. And I never, at the end, I didn't even get that far in. There's like a pretty big buffer between the council that we're not allowed to know about, and then like Bill and crew, who are kind of like this like protective layer.
You mean like gatekeeping, basically, essentially?
Yeah, and yeah, the real decision makers. So I was a little bit frustrated there, and I tried to get in, but anyway, after that, it was nice to just, once I realized like, oh, okay, this is all over, it was nice to just drop it and get on with other things in my life. I mean, I was working so hard for so long.
Yeah, it's time for a break.
Yeah, the break has been really nice.
Well, you look refreshed. You look like you're happy and healthy and well. So I'm sure lots of people will love to see you again on the screen. You got a lot of friends and fans out there, I know, from the Polkadot community specifically. So I'm sure everybody will love to see you again on their screens.
Well, I do miss all the people who were a part of the Coos and watching every day and were in the comments and everything like that. I do miss that sort of community for sure. Yeah.
Awesome.
Right now, though,
well,
what I got deep into, I'm getting deep into AI now. It's really exciting stuff.
yes.
I was kind of like, it was kind of like on the peripherals because I was so busy with Polkadot, but now wow, it's really blowing my mind.
Yeah.
It's such an interesting space, and it's moving so fast. The information space around AI is just amazing. And then
Let's
using the
talk
tools
about a
myself.
little bit more into that, because I see on your X profile, like there's a lot of AI stuff, but like, could you tell like what exactly you are doing in AI, and like if people want to support you or like join you? And
No, right now I'm just monitoring the situation. I'm just staying up to date. I'm just learning the main characters, finding the great sources of information, putting together the story to myself, tinkering around with myself. I was tinkering with OpenClaw for a bit,
Nice.
which is pretty above my my intellect. But I don't know. I got some cool things figured out. Yeah, this is a good research phase for me. A research phase before I know it's going to be some crazy obsession for multiple years. So I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I think we've all kind of dipped our toes down that rabbit hole. So yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes as well. I know we've started playing around with it in our office as well, trying to get the OpenClaw thing going and see what we can do with it. So yeah.
The promises are incredible, but I mean, it's a lot like crypto in that way. The promises are insane, but the products leave a lot to be desired, for sure. There are a lot of gaps, and it takes a lot of specialized knowledge, I think.
Yeah. Do you think OpenGov will be the same again at some point in future, where like, for example, we had the DAOs, like without mentioning names, we had multiple big DAOs that were like very decisive in terms of, proposals and things. But now OpenGov kind of seems to be losing its charm. It doesn't have the same kind of participation anymore, and same kind of, like before, people were very excited about seeing what's happening and how they can get involved and, sharing their opinions and posting on X. But you hardly see that anymore.
No, I think the OpenGov experiment is over. I wouldn't be surprised if that whole game is taken off the chain. So this is why I sold all my DOT, because the main reason why I was holding it was because of OpenGov. Like that was the most interesting part about Polkadot, and I held DOT, to great losses. I don't know. I posted on X like a month or two ago my total losses in the because I said I did this big tax thing, right? So my total losses in the ecosystem, it was like, I can't remember. You can check it out, but it's something like $40,000 in losses on DOT and $125,000 losses on KSM. And it's like, why was I holding? It's because because I was like playing the game of the ecosystem. It wasn't so much of a of a bet like that. But no, I think it's over, and I think it's a great shame. I think the Web3 Foundation for years has tried to pretend that it's not a gatekeeper to the ecosystem, but not only has it been a gatekeeper to the ecosystem, and some of the things that were happening behind the scenes that we didn't talk about on air were just crazy. I mean, the Web3 Foundation. There's lots of people in there, or not anymore. Even more people are gone now, but there's lots of great individuals in there. But as an organization, the decision making was just abysmal. It was like they were built to reject talent and potentially good projects over and over and over again. And the griping from having to work with them was just awful. And I think they were terrible at playing the OpenGov game. Like a lot of us were really good at making the OpenGov game productive, but it's almost like it's hard to know if it was sabotage or just like super incompetence. It's really hard to tell which it was. But I think ever since they started the what was it called? Decentralized Voices.
Yeah.
That was the first warping factor in OpenGov. Even though it was playing by the rules, it was like playing by the rules in a way that just made everything worse. And honestly, the whole time there was this opportunity, because they had all these tokens, there was this opportunity to put in checks and balances in the OpenGov system. Like, hey, if a proposal doesn't have this, it never passes. Like they could have put in these checks and balances with their power and made it a richer and more productive experience. But instead, it was just mega retards, like just screwing up OpenGov, the OpenGov game so bad. I've never seen such bad politics. It's crazy.
I know that
AOC has nothing on the Web3 Foundation.
Yeah, I found it very frustrating as well that decentralized voices was meant to be decentralized, but some people, without mentioning names, made it all about themselves. Like I have this voting power or whatever, and now you
Yeah,
should
it's
bow
not.
down to me and you should listen to me, and my opinions matter and whatever
Yeah.
else. Yeah, it was
Yeah, it was
horrible.
totally unearned. I mean, to get massive influence, you just had to write a forum post, and
Yeah.
these just philosophical ramblings that were never matched with the actual action on chain. I mean, wow, what a stupid way to play the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've all got a little bit of like just sadness about it. I think I mentioned to you, Jay, that it's kind of like, excited for the future, but sad about what could have been. And so let's hope that something still comes from it. Like obviously, we still pay very close attention. It's like we're still very connected to the ecosystem here at Mandala.
Yeah. So what does that look like now?
Yeah, so I guess it's probably a good pivot because like obviously we've been playing around quite detailed with the Mandala testnet all week, getting a lot of the applications that are being built put onto the Mandala testnet. The Mandala testnet being the Ethereum L2.
Mm-hmm.
So we obviously have a social contract with the Polkadot DAO that we still want to deploy the applications onto Polkadot that we said that we would.
Yeah,
and we will. But I guess the nervous center or the central nervous system of the Mandala ecosystem will still be the Mandala mainnet, which will not be a parachain. It'll be an Ethereum layer 2. So we're more than just a chain. The Mandala project is obviously we're app builders as well, and we've got applications which are being built by the core team over at Baliola. And those apps will be posted up in a variety of different blockchains, not just Polkadot, not just the Mandala mainnet, but in other places as well. But Polkadot is very much going to be a part of that wheelhouse. But yeah, it's no longer the backbone or the anchor system of the Mandala ecosystem.
Now, this was Ref 1210, delivering 4 government use cases, 763,000. So you guys built these use cases, and you're going to deploy them on Polkadot Hub, but also deploy these use cases on other chains as well.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they'll be accessible from Polkadot Hub, and also like for example, 2 of them were never actually applications. They were standalone chains that would be connected to Polkadot or connected to the Mandala chain, and then 2 of them are actual applications. So they will still have be accessible by Polkadot. That's the social contract that we came up with, and that's what we want to fulfill.
Yeah.
But it became clearly evident even as early as as Argentina, that parachains were not going to be part of the path moving forward. And it hadn't been the first time that Mandala had been approached by alternative ecosystems
I imagine not,
to go elsewhere as well.
Yeah.
And so we'd always flown that flag really hard, no, we wanted to be in Polkadot, until Polkadot no longer wanted us in Polkadot, or didn't seem like it was going to support it, at least.
It's just a risk. It's just a risk to be building in Polkadot in this particular way when it doesn't seem the focus is there at all. I just saw didn't Hyperbridge just get hit with something, like they moved over to a parathread and then it didn't have the same functionality?
Yeah, the bridge was shut down.
Yeah, the bridge was
shut down right now.
Yeah, they're fixing it.
Yeah. But it's a Polkadot fix that they're trying to. The Polkadot needs to fix it to support the parathread model. So they're waiting for that upgrade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but you made a good point about parachains, because as a new builder, let's say for example, you're a new startup project or a new builder with a great idea, and then you want to build, and you're evaluating which chain, which ecosystem should I call whom. And at the moment, Polkadot does not look very attractive. Because for example, PBA, I've spoken with Pauline, Tim, everybody at PBA. They work very hard to bring in new builders, people from other ecosystems. But bring him for what? There's not really, for example, Web3 Foundation is not really very supportive anymore. There is not a lot of support for a new builder in terms of there's not really any VC investments. We previously, with my experience with the fundraising in Polkadot, you go to VCs and they hear the word Polkadot and they don't want to invest anymore because they either lost a lot of money or they don't have a lot of faith. So as a new builder, you don't really have a great sort of head start that you would potentially have with other projects. So a lot needs to be changed, and I think this is another thing, especially from marketing perspective as well. Jay, you and Michael also as well have a marketing agency. When you're doing the marketing and when you don't have a really good kind of history or a good sentiment behind the product, it's almost impossible to bring in new users, like especially token holders or community that are really enthusiastic about, voting and governance and things like that.
Yeah, we've had some interesting conversations with other projects and other ecosystems who are interested in our communication services, and they're a little suspicious of of Polkadot. They're definitely curious as to what's going on, but the sentiment is not high at all. But I think this is, I mean, we watched this over the years. There is this sort of like, I don't know, this rejection of outsiders, and also this like production of new outsiders, people who come close to the flame and they're really excited, and then they get pushed out, right? We saw that happen so many times. So then you have all these haters floating around, and nasty stuff. I don't know what that's all about.
Well, I think Pac-Man, we've got some cool stuff we want to leak. So next week is the week, everybody. I know in the Telegram, in the Mandala Telegram, it was I was asked the question which I didn't respond to because I wanted to say it here. Are we still on track for next week? And yes, we are. So this is happening next week, everybody. There will be no delay. We're not changing because the price of Bitcoin is not at $180 trillion. Like we're still, next week is the week that TGE will happen. So I believe, Pac-Man, you've got a little bit of a teaser that you want to share. Is that right?
Oh, I have a few. Depends on which one. Can you give me a clue?
We're talking about light mode or dark mode on the dashboard.
Oh, right, okay, that one. No, that's. I wouldn't even call it a teaser, but okay. That's because like I had a real teaser here. So yeah, me and Michael were having this debate on. I don't know if you guys have seen Mandala's X account. Let me just quickly show you because I don't want to share the link or anything here at the moment because.
You got a little bit of stuff that you can't share just yet.
Yes. Let's just say it's above my pay grade to share the link. So if you look at Mandala's X account here, so like this is the portal that you'll be able to see when you connect your Polkadot wallet for the claim. For example, people who participated on the public sale through Polymac or people who participated through Parachains. So obviously they will have a Polkadot wallet at the back end. So you will go here, click on Polkadot wallet, and then it will verify the ownership of your wallet, how many tokens you have your due, and then you'll connect your Ethereum wallet, and then you will basically lift the tokens from here and lower them on Ethereum wallet. And Michael and I were having a discussion whether this should be white or black. And I'm a big fan of dark mode. It's just probably because my skin color is dark, but like Michael wanted it to be light mode.
On my dashboard, it is light mode.
Is that all right? Okay. I prefer dark mode in everything now. Like I don't have light mode in anything. Jay, what do you think? I know it's quite nice and simple, but that was the whole point. We didn't want it to be like complicated where people have to watch a YouTube video to understand how to use the protocol.
Yeah, it looks nice. So I have to connect a Polkadot wallet and then I have to connect an Ethereum wallet. Is that how it works?
Yeah, correct. If you contributed via the Parachain or by Polymac.
Oh yeah, obviously you get it from that.
Yeah, you only contributed with a Polkadot based wallet. So you'll connect that Polkadot wallet that it's eligible, and then you'll sign the transaction of your Ethereum wallet where you want to receive the tokens. And then that'll create like a vesting stream, which you'll be able to check. The dashboard is actually really cool. It'll have the full chart that shows your vesting schedule, and you have the tokens, ticking down, by the second as they unlock to you. And so you'll be able to claim them all. So you'll be able to go, everyone will be given sufficient heads up to go and claim their token first before trading is actually available. And I just want to put it out there that you want to actually make sure you do this because we will be having all sorts of incentives and rewards for those people who come get involved. And so, come play around with it. There's going to be all sorts of staking rewards. APYs are going to be very juicy, very early. Liquidity provisioning, if you want to come and supply your KPG in the trading pool, be paired against Ethereum, against ETH. There'll be all sorts of crazy APYs on supplying liquidity.
Where's this going to happen?
It'll all happen here on our dashboard on our website. So you'll be able to come and do it all here. So we won't show. I don't think I can show it yet, but we'll tease it on the X account over the weekend. We'll show you the dashboard about where you can come and provide liquidity, all the staking, everything.
Wow. Okay. So what about for people who contributed even earlier. People who were part of
same. Every single person will be able to come and get, if you've participated in any of the pre-sale, seed round, everything, it's all going to be here.
So
everyone will be
people
able
who contributed earlier, we would have their wallet address. Let's say, for example, seed round or public sale, and they're like this wallet address. When they go onto Ethereum wallets and connect, so this will be able to automatically match whether this wallet address is in the records and how many tokens are against on that wallet address, and they will automatically download or withdraw the tokens onto the address.
Awesome.
And while we're here, same goes for our investors as well. Like people who are our early supporters, investors, they will have the same protocol link where they will connect their wallets and be able to get the tokens they have earned over the last few months.
So we've got some interesting things happening. It's going to be fun. Like I'm excited to be able to finally get KPG into the hands of the community, because it's been a long time coming. And I can tell you, like, man, there's some stuff cooking as well. Like the amount of, I know we've been teasing a neighboring country of Indonesia for quite some time. We've got non-neighboring countries who we've also been speaking to. And even the Baliola team has been really working at like their SaaS model. And so they're just a general service like provider for all sorts of tech, and everything that they do has KPG woven into it. So we're actually got a dashboard coming shortly, which will show all of the KPG buybacks from every single application inside the ecosystem. So it's just going to be this big flywheel where the more applications get used inside our network, not just on the Mandala chain, which is only one use case, but there'll be a whole bunch of different applications. It'll be a constant flywheel, and we'll be able to show the buybacks from each use case.
Well, one thing I want to drop a hint: when Michael says neighboring country, a non-neighboring country is not non-neighboring country, it's non-neighboring country.
Yes.
That's the biggest clue. So, it's not here, it's here, which is great. So that means like Mandala is already spreading, like it'll be great if, for example, a year down the line, we can actually say, well, we are in Indonesia and such, I nearly said the name, but and such country. And it'll be great then we can actually kind of, use that model as a sales pitch almost, for going to other neighbors, countries and governments.
Super great. This is a big first step to actually get this token out, and then we can see what really goes down. So this token is going to be available next Wednesday?
Next week. We haven't set the exact day just yet.
And then there's going to be a little break before people can actually move it in and out of their wallet, before it's unfrozen, basically.
Yeah, depending on what your terms were, depending on what your vesting terms were.
This is something I wanted to actually talk about. So thanks for actually bringing it up. So there are public sale investors, and there are also Polymech, people, and Parachain. So some people have, like, let's say, talk about public sale, for example. So their tokens are 10% unlocked and then 18 months vesting. So they will have their access to 10% TGE. They'll be able to see how many tokens are vested and for how long, and then they can, unlock as the amounts gets vested. So the 10% that's available, they will be able to move these tokens wherever they wish to at TGE. And then we will then announce when the token is live and which DEX. We haven't announced which DEX is going on yet, and that's specifically because we want to protect the community against scam links. And there's always like fake contract addresses and things like that.
Yeah.
So there have been a lot of questions about when the token is going live and why we haven't given a specific date. And the reason is to protect the community again, because let's say, for example, if we say 12 p.m. UTC Monday or something, people will, like, we noticed this in our public sale. There was like fake platforms that look exactly same like our public sale, and there were fake contract addresses. So the best thing you can do is like have notifications on for Mandala's X and just wait till an official announcement is made. It could be Monday, it could be Friday, it could be 1 a.m., could be 1 p.m. We don't know. We're not going to announce. So it'll just be something that'll be dropped on the page.
And then everything's going to be done through this app. So even the liquidity pool that's created, this is actually a liquidity pool that's on a DEX that you haven't announced yet. That's basically what that is. Yeah. Okay. So you're going to kind of have like a vesting schedule and liquidity pool. You're going to have trading there as well, or not yet on the app as well?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what happens next? I mean, what happens with the token, in a few months? Like, what can you guys talk about what that looks like at all?
Sure.
Yeah. So shortly after, the chain will go live as well. So we'll give everyone a chance to get tokens, because obviously you're going to need to get tokens, and then you'll be able to move them over to the Mandala L2. And And then obviously there'll be a whole bunch of applications. So the website will probably update this weekend as well with a lot of the different use cases and things that you'll be able to do with the token. So the chain will go live like probably just very shortly after the TGE and trading happens. And so then you'll be able to, I guess, effectively see exactly everything that you can do with the token. There's a whole bunch of different use cases, and because it's a utility token, it has a very wide range of implementations inside our ecosystem. So it's obviously the gas token for the Mandala mainnet, but it's also a bonding token for a lot of the different country-based sovereign chains. And so the same way that like the parachain slot kind of worked back in the day will work similarly for KPG. So they'll need to take a whole bunch of KPG out of circulation, lock it up. And the nodes that run and support these sovereign chains for different nations will have to have some sort of bond that can be slashed in KPG. We have a native DeFi hub, which called Moxa.
I don't think Jay's seen that. Michael, do you want to put that up quickly? Because I don't think Jay's seen that one yet. Jay, have you heard of Moxa?
I was one of the first followers of the X account.
Jay did actually find it quite early.
I haven't seen the app though. If you want to show the app, is that what you're showing?
Michael, there's a quick question, which is a very good one. So people are saying the communities so there will be ERC20 or either Arbitrum or whatever token that is good. So gas fees is going to be in Ethereum. So when we talk about gas fees in KPG, what does that mean?
So KPG is the gas token for the Mandala mainnet, the Mandala chain. But because obviously it's an L2, you need to be able to get the token still from Ethereum. So you'll need ETH to be able to actually be gas when you're claiming your tokens.
Right, okay.
Because that's the settlement layer.
So when the community is using KPG within the Mandala chain, it's just going to be KPG as gas fees, not Ethereum.
Correct. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
But you need Ethereum in order to
claim your tokens. Yeah, to claim your tokens. You'll need some gas on the Ethereum mainnet.
On that second step.
To be able to first, when you initially claim the tokens, because like we're at an L2, all of the token creation happens on mainnet. Right. And so then you need to come to be able to get mainnet to get your tokens. And for that, gas is obviously ETH. But once you've got your tokens and you've moved them to Mandala chain, you only need KPG because KPG is gas of the Mandala mainnet, of the Mandala chain.
Can you clarify as well when you say move them to Mandala chain, like from where to where? From MetaMask to...
There'll be a bridge. So we'll have a native bridge, which will be also on our website that you can just bridge from ETH to Mandala, probably from ETH to ARB to Mandala. Like, it'll be as interoperable as possible. We've already been speaking to Hyperbridge. So Hyperbridge will be the provider which gets us from mainnet over to Polkadot, because obviously we don't have XCM anymore.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, so you'll still be able to get your tokens all around the ecosystem via bridging. It just won't be XCM. It'll be a different version of XCM, a different bridge.
Hey, what tech stack are you guys building on for the L2?
Arbitrum. Yes, we're Arbitrum. Yeah.
That's cool.
So the reason why we chose Arbitrum is because it's actually very, very cool, because Arbitrum, you can have a custom gas token. So KPG can still be gas, not having to use Ethereum. Arbitrum also allows Rust smart contracts. So we can actually just port everything straight over. It doesn't have to be Solidity. And Arbitrum was actually like the most sort of like, I guess, Polkadot-esque in that community sort of vibe ecosystem with a whole bunch of other chains that all wanted to be interoperable. Like it was like a big family over there, and they were very excited to kind of support what we were doing.
I bet they would be.
Yeah, so it means Arbitrum 1 is also the biggest chain for TVL in all of the Ethereum layer 2s, even more so than Base. And they have a really, really strong RWA, community as well, which is obviously what Mandala is going to be all about. So, and
they've been very supportive as well. We've had multiple meetings with our Arbitrum team, and they have been very supportive, very welcoming as well. Something that we like any project would look for, when you're choosing a chain, something you can call a home.
So
it's been great.
They're there to answer questions and help you out with things.
Yeah. Get on the call. All that sort of stuff. For all those people that are like concerned about this, it'll be exactly the same as what it would have been as if we were a parachain. There'll be almost no difference because we were always going to be an EVM parachain. So it was always going to be an Ethereum-based address. It'll be exactly the same feel. Ethereum address, you'll use KPG as gas. You'll be able to get to other bridges, except it just won't be XCM. You'll be able to get to other chains. So it's going to be a very, very familiar, experience to what it would have been as if we were parachain, except secured by Ethereum instead of Polkadot.
Very cool.
Okay.
You're not there's a question, there's a good one. You're not announcing the exact moment the token goes live. Is that to avoid bots and games, or just how you prefer to launch?
No, it's exactly to avoid bots and games. You cleared it up before, like in the pre-sale round, we ended up with fake tokens and being circulated. And so we were deleting comments of fake token listings. So to avoid that, we'll announce it just ahead of time, and the official contract address of the token will be posted on our X account.
Yeah. Another one, actually, I'm just going to go some of the questions, because I think most of the things that we just talked about covered a lot of questions regarding DEX and everything, but just some of the good ones. There is still some confusion. Are you an Ethereum L2 or Arbitrum L3 or something in between?
We're an Ethereum L2 built with the Arbitrum tech stack. So we're based on Ethereum. Ethereum is like the base layer, the settlement layer, but we're using Arbitrum's tech to be our own L2.
Okay, and when people trade KPG at launch, what gas are they actually paying? ETH, KPG, or both?
Sorry, say that question again.
When people trade KPG at launch, I suppose they're talking about trading this on the DEX. What gas are they actually paying? ETH, KPG, or both?
Yeah, ETH. It'll be ETH until you get onto Mandala chain, which one will be KPG.
I suppose for trading, you will stay on the DEX, but like if you want to stake and do other things, then you will have to come to Mandala's mainnet.
A bit of both, yeah. It'll be a bit of both. So I would get like, ETH is very cheap right now anyway. So like transactions cost like a couple of cents. It's not like the old days where it was $20 a transaction. So you're going to need a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit of ETH. If you've got $2 of ETH, you'll be fine.
Yeah. I don't know if we should talk about prices, but I'll just go for this one. Like, what's the market cap do you think you would? What's the market cap you would launch at, and what's the market cap do you think it will stay? I mean, everybody's guess is as good as anybody else's.
You tell me, community. You tell me.
So we're launching at 40 million FTV. I mean, I think we mentioned this last time. So 0.04 per token.
4 cents a token is the launch price. Yeah.
Yeah. From there, it's a fair ground, because it could go to 0.10 or whatever, or 0.01. We don't know, because the market sentiment is not great at the moment. So yes, it's hard to say, but like the launch price will be 0.04. Which is I think already, like, anybody that's participated on Polymech or public sale, which is already higher than what has ever been sold at before.
0.4 cents is what you're saying.
Yeah.
4 cents. 4 cents.
Oh, 4 cents.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, yes. It's the UK way of saying it. Yeah, 4 cents is probably the easiest way to say it. Yeah. So 40 million FDB.
Cool. Yeah.
And the other thing people have been asking was why do you not have a centralized exchange? We already have mentioned this before, but this is something we can consider in the future. Right now, we don't see a lot of value in centralized exchanges. I mean, a lot of, like, for example, tier 3 exchanges, without mentioning names, they are like, there's a lot of geological restrictions as well. So like, for example, if you take MXC, for instance, it doesn't work in the UK. I cannot have the app. I can use it on desktop, which makes it already like very less convenient. Like, I have to have on a desktop computer to be able to buy and sell. The app doesn't work on the iPhones or Androids on the App Store. So, and same with the Gate.io, same with the KuCoin. So a lot of them, if we go for any of these exchanges, we miss out a lot of people from UK, from Europe, and that's like kind of our bigger audience, especially for token. So this is why we're going with the DEX, where there is no restrictions. Anybody from anywhere in the world can participate.
The exchanges will come later, but again, they're kind of a bit extractive, like where they want to have like a massive fee and they want to sort of manipulate the token around a little bit. And so we wanted to actually just get the hands into the token, like to the token into the hands of people quicker. So the centralized exchanges will come, but it was a conscious choice that we wanted to, go DEX at launch. I am mindful, the Koos, we've taken a lot of your time already. Should we just rip through some of these questions before we let him get on with his day?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so there's actually, I'll just skip through some of the questions because a lot of them are like price related, so we won't. Okay, so one is for people who aren't traders, what's the long-term reason to hold or stake KPG?
I'm obviously quite biased here because I think that we're building something quite unique where we're using blockchain for something that hasn't been used before. And so I don't know of any other protocols that actually have these like integrations with government and that they can actually use this type of technology. And the fact that it's like not some sort of decentralized, centralized dystopian use of the tech. The only thing I've seen close to what we're doing is Canton. Canton has like been slightly similar-esque, but they've sort of launched with a really, really cool novel tech stack. Where we've come out with like a novel use case with an existing tech stack. So they're probably the one who's probably the most similar.
I was catching Canton a bit actually. That's true. Actually, besides the whole like Web3 like ideals we were playing around with in Polkadot, it seems like now the use case for blockchain is really exactly what you guys are doing. It's just making big systems more efficient, and that's what Canton is doing with moving big money, and you guys are doing on a kind of a national level.
Haven't they been around for a number of years, since 2017 or something?
I think so, yeah.
They have, but they've only just launched their token. But they've been around for a long time. They're actual full OGs, the Canton crew.
Yeah, they do have their own language and everything, though. But that might be a bit of a struggle. But I think they have some amazing business development partners.
Yeah, they also have a massive market cap as well.
Yeah, they're crushing it there too.
Nice. Michael, a quick one. What role does Moxa play actually in the Mandala ecosystem? Is it just a swap, or are you thinking full DeFi with more features over time?
No, it's not just a swap. It's also a DEX aggregator. So it'll be able to swap. It'll have its own liquidity pool, but it will have the options to search for trades on other DEXs as well. So if there's not a particular token that has liquidity on the Moxa platform, it'll go and search for it on other DEXs and eventually also cross-chain as well. And so, you might be able to be giving the options for the best price from Uniswap or Hydration or PancakeSwap or Curve and you just pick which trade you want and it will execute it for you. So what it will also do, it'll eventually bring in all sorts of RWA and lend and borrow and all that sort of stuff. So it'll come, but a lot of the proceeds from Moxa, the fees that it generates, will go back to KPG buybacks as well. So it's a revenue driver for KPG.
I'll actually bring the question on the screen. It's easier. When you talk to the governments, what kind of use cases get them interested first?
Data security. It's all about data security. So the same reason why somebody doesn't want to run their Claude bot on a VPS and have someone else controlling all of their credit card information and their logins to all their passwords for all of like their social accounts, they're using Mac Minis. It's sovereignty. It's sovereignty of your own data. It's sovereignty to be able to run. And obviously, when talking about an individual on Claude versus a nation state, but if we really, really want people to trust blockchain, they have to be able to still have some sort of trust in the blockchain and the nodes running the blockchain. So, yeah.
I'll just say this is the second last question. So is Arbitrum forever home, or do you see Mandala expanding into other ecosystems over time?
I mean, this is the cool thing about Mandala is because Mandala is Mandala chain, but there's also the Mandala applications. And the applications that are part of the Mandala family. So the applications might exist in many different places. But the chain itself, is the chain. So,
the last question. There's loads many, but I'm just going to say, what's the next big unlock for Mandala for TGE? So this is something that came up in Telegram chat as well quite a lot. So I'll just quickly go through this. So roughly, I think about 20% supply of the token will be unlocked at TGE, but not all of it will be traded because some of this is like ecosystem grants and stuff. All the team tokens are vested, and I think there's a cliff period of 9 months. So none of like me, Michael, anybody in the team does not have any access to their tokens until 9 months. So anybody like worrying about when does the team get tokens? This is like very clearly mentioned into the V2 document that we shared on our tokenomics a while back. I'll share the link to the Medium article on our after this live stream. But yeah, so team tokens are vested. Public sale is like 10% available at TGE. Rest of it is like vested for 18 months. Pre-seed investors are even longer. I think it's 6 months cliff, and then it's 24 months vesting as well. So like all the tokens are vested. So at TGE is only really public sale investors, and Parachain participants and Polymech participants, like early supporters. And even then there is like some restrictions. So it's not like everybody has a token available to sell at TGE. And then we will also have like, CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko directly linked. So you'll be able to see the circulating supply and maximum supply and everything as well.
Maximum supply 1 billion. Yeah.
That's everything. Cool that you guys are launching now, when the hype is down, because the chart's going to look a lot nicer. If you launched 4 months ago, It would be a sad sight, but now you can,
Yeah.
now you can kind of grow something
Yeah.
organic.
We had a
Yeah.
lot of discussions about this, like, the best time to launch. But I
Right.
don't think there is ever a best time. I think this is a better time to launch, because if we had launched in October, right now we'll be like, I don't know, 80-90% down like rest of the market.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And so now it's actually better when everybody's down. So when everything picks up, we'll hopefully pick up as well at the same time. Final question from me to you, Jay. If you were in charge of, like, say, because you're coming on from like marketing background, media background, what would you do, or what would you suggest for Mandala to, like, to be like more popular? And like from your point of view, like if you were involved, what's the first thing you would think, like, oh, we should be doing, or something we're not doing and we should be doing more of?
Well, I think at this time, what you want to try to do is platform and give a voice to the relatively fewer people who are actually engaging in the activities that you've enabled for them. So, yeah, I mean, get the people who are staking and whatnot on stage and get them talking about why they're sticking around and what's important to them. I mean, this was always our approach to communications, was platforming the people who are most excited and most involved. And when it's quiet in the industry like it is now, it's a good time to really pull up the winners and pull up the people who are champions even in these bad times, and find out what the vision of the project is from them. Yeah,
that's a great answer. Thank you. My friend Evan, I don't know if do you recognize?
Oh yeah, we all know Evan.
How's it going, buddy?
Hi, Evan.
Love you, bro.
Did they announce the date?
Next week. Next week.
You'll have to watch the whole live stream again to find out.
He's trolling you, Evan. He's trolling you. We haven't announced the exact day, but it's next week. Keep in touch with the X and you'll know the exact day it goes out. Maybe 70 hours before or 36 hours before.
Yeah, we will basically announce that between Monday to Friday, but the liquidity pool and everything going live will just be spontaneous, could be anytime. And that's to basically avoid all the bots and stuff, because it's very, it's very common. It's not a new thing. When you announce the time, the people already have bots and sniper attacks, sitting there waiting. So this is just to avoid all of that. And that's Evan's response.
Are we going to be able to stake locked tokens?
No. No, there was a reason behind this as well. It's because we do have like locked token supply. We have staking rewards set aside for a really, really long period of time, like 4 years, allocated in the first initial bucket. And we wanted staking to be incentivized really early on for those people who actually come and buy the token, because the APYs are going to be fantastic. So we can actually really reward those people who come and actually buy the token, as opposed to like the early people getting richer. So, yeah. So if you buy a little bit of KPG at the start and stake it, your APYs are going to be massive, because it'll be the same as what it will be. The same amount of tokens dripping out every single month is what it will be in 4 years from now, when there's a lot more people who are staking, a lot more tokens being staked.
Yeah, that's a great question. What's the unbonding period? Please tell me it's not 28 days.
No, it's not. No. Now you'll find out very shortly.
Yeah.
But it's not 28. It's not 28 days.
Yeah, I was about to say in Polkadot by default it was 28 days if you're a parachain, but this will be different. So we were actually having discussions like how much, because obviously we don't want it to be instant, because then that just defeats the whole purpose of staking and having a locked supply. So there will be some kind of let's call it penalty for completely unstaking. It'll be 7 days or 14 days or 21 days. We don't know. We'll decide soon and announce it. That's everything from our side. I think we have actually taken a bit longer. Thanks very much, Jay.
Thanks, Jay. Awesome to see you, brother.
Nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
We would love to have you again, like after TGEs, after some time, and see how the launch is going and how do you see. And hopefully by then, we either have you back in Polkadot or somewhere we can actually follow you, and community can actually support you as well.
If you want to see what we're just experimenting with right now, look for Intelligence HQ on the platforms. I've been retweeting it a bit, but we're really just experimenting with different formats and stuff. So Intelligence HQ.
We'll share it from the Mandala official account, everybody, as well, so that you can come and see it. So Jay, feel free to come back anytime and show everything that you're doing, because I know the whole community and the Mandala community want to hear from you. You've been a massive supporter of us since day one, all those many moons ago. So yeah, only love. So yeah, feel free to come back anytime. And just as a housekeeping announcement, everybody as well, this stream will go live every single week on the Mandala X account, but the re-upload of it, because Mandala does not have a YouTube channel, the re-upload of it will go on the Republik Rupiah YouTube. It's under my name, Republik Rupiah. With timestamps, it'll be auto-dubbed in both Indonesian and English, and so you can come and get involved. That'll be up this time tomorrow on the Republik Rupiah YouTube account.
Thanks, everybody, and thanks for all the great questions as well. Again, a huge thanks to Jay for taking our busy time, especially when it was 7:30 in the morning for him. I would never wake up so early for a live stream.